So I bought this new book today, evolution book, surprise, surprise, called Why Evolution is True by Jerry Coyne, which you should all go pick up and read for yourself. On chapter 2, called Written in the Rocks, it basically breaks down in one page, in a very concise, straightforward way, how evolution emerged, the exact pattern in which it happened. And I think a lot of people, they can understand how we can descend from apes, but they have trouble imagining and comprehending how we can descend from bacteria. They can't really comprehend that intermediate. So on one page, it really breaks down in a very straightforward way how that exactly happened, and I just want to read it out loud real quick because I found it very interesting. The first organisms, simple photosynthetic bacteria, appear in sediments about 3.5 billion years old, only about a billion years after the planet was formed. These single cells were all that occupied the Earth for the next 2 billion years, after which we see the first simple eukaryotes, organisms having true cells with nuclei and chromosomes. Then around 600 million years ago, a whole gamut of relatively simple but multi-celled organisms arise, including worms, jellyfish, and sponges. These groups diversify over the next several million years, with terrestrial plants and tetrapods, four-legged animals, the earliest of which were lobed-finned fish, appearing about 400 million years ago. Earlier groups, of course, often persisted. Photosynthetic bacteria, sponges, and worms appear in the early fossil record and are still with us. 50 million years later, we find that the first true amphibians, and after another 50 million years, reptiles come along. The first mammals show up around 250 million years ago, arising as predicted from reptilian ancestors, and the first birds, also descended from reptiles, show up about 50 million years later. After the earliest mammals appear, they, along with insects and land plants, become ever more diverse as we approach the shallowest rocks. The fossils increasingly come to resemble living species. Humans are newcomers on the scene. Our lineage branches off from that of other primates only about 7 million years ago, the merest sliver of evolutionary time. Various imaginative analogies have been used to make this point, and it is worth making again. If the entire course of evolution were compressed into a single year, the earliest bacteria would appear at the end of March, but we wouldn't see the first human ancestors until 6 a.m. on December 31st. The Golden Age of Greece, about 500 BC, would occur just 30 seconds before midnight. So the appearance of species through time, as seen in fossils, is far from random. Simple organisms evolved before complex ones, predicted ancestors before descendants. The most recent fossils are those most similar to living species, and we have transitional fossils connecting many major groups. No theory of special creation, or any theory other than evolution, can explain these patterns. And would you like to say God just started all that and that's how it all happened? Yeah, I don't think so.